so glad you could join us for this latest edition of the Broadway Show. I'm Tamsin Fidel. It's going to be a good one, but it always is, especially now that Broadway is back. Heidi Blickenstaff is a veteran of half a dozen Broadway shows, most recently Jagged Little Pill. To say she's living the Broadway dream is an understatement. Let's go ahead and send it out to Paul Wontorek.
On Broadway, Heidi Blickenstaff has played troubled moms, funny wives, a certain sea urchin, and even herself, right? You kind of played yourself on Broadway.
Correct.
Here she is, Heidi Blickenstaff. We're gonna walk through your resume.
I love this
Are your
idea.
boots made for walking?
Totally. They're
Ready
a
to
little
go?
high, but I got this.
Heidi, this is a Eugene O'Neill,
I know.
home of the Book of Mormon, which I think you were involved with in readings,
I
actually.
was.
Fun
I did.
fact,
Yeah,
fun
all
fact.
the
Never
workshops.
actually. That's true of a lot of Broadway actors.
It's
A lot
true.
of credits people don't ever
I'm
see.
in the coffee table book.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, take a look at that. I'm there.
More importantly, to me, you were in the Full Monty at
Yeah.
this theater. I love the Full Monty.
I also loved the Full Monty.
Was that your Broadway debut?
That was my Broadway debut, and it was a total fluke that it happened because I was doing the national tour of the Full Monty,
Okay.
and then September 11th happened,
Right.
and like a lot of things on tour, we got shut down. We came home, and when the show opened back up, they had some injuries and some illnesses, and they
You were like, I'm ready.
I know, literally, I got the call at like 4 o'clock on some random afternoon and said, do you feel like saving a Broadway show today? My ensemble track was Susan Hershey, but I understudied Vicki Nichols, played by Emily Skinner,
Yes.
who I was obsessed with, still am.
Life with Harold.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
gotta
song.
love that man.
Yeah.
And you did very well though.
I love that show. You also got to hoot and holler as all of your male co-stars
Yes.
got naked every night.
True.
The show delivered the Full Monty.
It really did.
Depending on the lighting each night and where you were sitting.
Yeah, well, the women, we always got a good view of it no matter what, and I got to know my co-stars very, very well.
Heidi, this is a Lyceum Theater.
It's the most beautiful theater, I think, on
Your
Broadway.
name was on this at one point.
I know,
In
crazy.
a show called
Title of show.
Title of Show in brackets.
Yeah,
Not
in
parentheses,
brackets.
brackets.
That's right, brackets. It's important.
And you played Heidi.
I played myself.
It was actually yourself. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I
like, because
mean-
they do this show now and the actors take on the, right,
Yeah.
it was you.
They do it now, literally all over the world,
Or do they play
regionally.
Heidi? Do they play
No,
Heidi?
they play Heidi. They
Oh,
do not
okay,
play
so you're a
themselves.
character.
They play Heidi, Susan, Hunter, and Jeff, and Larry. And that is the craziest thing in the whole wide world, but this is where we did it on Broadway.
Those are your Title of Show cohorts.
Yes.
It was a meta show.
Yep.
It was very high concept. It started really small and then it ended up here.
Yeah, I know. It always stayed very small, even though we
Yeah.
ended up in a Broadway house. We were writing a show about writing a show that the audience is watching. But when we were here, you know, luckily, I think people had a really good time. We did not last that long. We were kind
How
of
long did it last?
over 100 performances, so we are not in
Yes.
Joe Allen's. I highly recommend writing your own material because you can write to your strengths. And we all like definitely highlighted the things that we were good at.
And what was the big song at the end? I'd rather be, what's the lyric?
9 people's favorite thing than 100 people's ninth favorite thing.
Which
that
is such a beautiful
I'd rather be
sentiment.
9 people's favorite thing than 100 people's ninth
Yeah.
favorite thing. That's it. I got it right.
Heidi, you played the Lone Fontaine Theater
3 times.
3 times.
3 times. I mean, 2 times in one show, but I count it twice because I was 2
So
different
first
people.
it was The Little Mermaid.
I understudied the brilliant Sherry Renee Scott, and I played Carlotta. I originated that role. And then I left to go do Title of Show at the Lyceum, and then I came back and played Ursula.
Ursula, you guys, Ursula, that's like iconic. That, first of all, the hair and makeup and the costume, it was nuts.
Amazing.
It was stunning.
Yeah.
You also came back to the theater
Yes.
to do the Addams Family.
Yes, yeah. I replaced the amazing Carolee Carmello in the Addams
As
Family.
Alice? Her name-
As Alice Beinecke,
Yes.
which I never in a million years thought I would ever be cast as that part. I remember going in for it and I was like, Jerry Zaks, what are you thinking? And he was like, you get the part. It was a miracle. But I had the most fun playing that part and meeting these amazing people at the lunch, and it was just like a really, really, really good time.
Heidi, look, it's the St. James Theater. Who is St. James?
I don't know.
He must be the god of musical comedy.
Ha ha!
Because I've seen a lot of funny shows there, including Something Rotten
Something Rotten.
that you were in. You played B.
I played B bottom. Yes. It's true. That was my name. Why are you laughing at that?
I forgot Steve Bottom.
Yeah.
Wife of Nick Bottom.
Wife of Nick Bottom.
Yes. What a funny show, and I mean, amazing cast. It was like all my favorite Broadway clowns, including
Mine too.
Is it fun when you're with that many genuinely hilarious people?
You feel like you're not funny at all.
But there must be also a lot of onstage shenanigans.
There were some shenanigans, but you know how Broadway shows are, Paul. Like there's so many moving parts. You can't like suddenly burst into some improvisational wackadoo. But if those were going to be the guys to do it, it would have been Brooks Ashmanskas and Christian Borle, et cetera, et cetera. They certainly could. But we were very well behaved.
Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
Was this an album that meant a lot to you, I'm sure?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was right after I graduated from college, and I definitely tapped into my inner rage monster. But also, those lyrics are so deep. I mean, she's such a poet, and that album, it was on repeat in my car for a very long time.
And so you got to come in because Elizabeth Stanley.
Yes, who's my good friend, and I love her.
She opened in the show before the pandemic.
Yep.
Got pregnant.
Before she got pregnant, she got nominated for a Tony Award.
For a Tony.
For this role.
Yes.
And she's outstanding, but she got pregnant during the pandemic, had that baby, and was not quite ready to come back when Jagged reopened. And so they called me.
You got a call.
When you've been sitting on your butt for 18 months wondering if you'll ever work again, I was thrilled to be asked.
I know you walk these streets all the time, and every theater has its own memories of people and a role in costumes and audiences.
Yeah.
What is it like to sort of look at what you've done?
It makes me feel like I have been here a long time, but I'm very grateful. I mean, how long have we been here? Like, is it? Oh my God, it's like 30 years, which is hard to believe. That is impossible to believe. But, when you've devoted your life to a life in musical theater and somehow you manage to be in this neighborhood, it's like, it's quite a privilege.